to make a really bold move in the transfer market. Obviously, their 8th senior signing of the window. Alex Moreno looks like it's going to happen. Obviously, it's still early, but when David Ornstein hops on something, you know it's probably going to happen. And this is a really statement signing by Nottingham Forest. I feel like I say about every single one of their signings, but it's a guy who I think could probably be aiming higher. I don't mean that in insulting ways to Nottingham Forest. Obviously, they're a beautiful football club, but Alex Moreno is a 29-year-old who's been in La Liga for a good few years now and put up consistently good numbers for a while now. And normally when that happens, either they'll go to a bigger club in Spain or go to like a top 10 Premier League club, right? Obviously 5 goals, 3 assists, but playing in a back four, by the way. Obviously he's been as a wing back before, but under Pellegrini playing a back four, and obviously a very good betis side, finishing 5th last season. Got a bit lucky, expected points had them as 56 points, and they got 65, but that's still good output in a back four in La Liga. And he, I'm not saying he's like perfect or anything. There's a reason he's kind of at Forest, right? But elite defensive output, 4.8 tackles and interceptions, pretty decent in the air, decent presser as well, pretty good ball carrier as well, being in top 25 percentiles progressive carries and dribbles is always a good sign. The only real concern I have is on the balls, obviously the stereotype all Spanish players are great passers, but having a 74% pass completions are not great. And that's not always a bad thing. Like, you look at like Kevin De Bruyne has that pass completion rate, but obviously his progressive passes and his key passing stuff are really high. Whereas Alex Moreno is a bit lower, which is fine. That's kind of common in wing backs as well. A lot of the time wing backs have lower pass completion rates because they carry the ball more. That would be my only concern with him. Maybe not the most calm on the ball, but apart from that, everything there's really positive. And all of a sudden you're looking at Nottingham Forest's wing backs and half their signings have been wing backs. I don't think that's a bad thing, especially when you're playing a back four in the Premier League. You need wing backs and wing back depth. Obviously, Omar Richards is a really good pickup as well. Obviously, happened a few weeks ago. Obviously, in very limited minutes at Bayern Munich. And playing for Bayern Munich, he's going to jack up your numbers. But when I thought they signed Omar Richards, I just assumed Nottingham Forest would that be Omar Richards' kind of spot. I didn't think he'd really compete with anyone. But bringing in Alex Moreno to compete with him, all of a sudden, if you look at the Premier League table, right, or the clubs in the Premier League, the ones I've highlighted here are the clubs that I genuinely think are the only clubs that have better left-back options than Nottingham Forest. Do you know how mental that is? Like, I think Wolves, Tottenham, Southampton, the Manchester clubs, Liverpool and Chelsea are the only clubs, in my opinion, that have better left-back options than Nottingham Forest. Like, do you know how mental? Obviously, Wolves, my club, we've got Rainier, New and Johnny. I think that's better, personally, in my opinion. Obviously, Tottenham is stockpiling left-backs. I think Carl Walker-Peters and Perrard are probably a bit better, but even that's debatable. Obviously, Man United and Man City have loads, same with Liverpool. Obviously, Chelsea have got Ben Chilwell and Marcus Alonso. But any of these other Premier League, even Arsenal, I stand by it. I'd rather have Alex Moreno than Kieran Tierney. And I think Omar Richards is better than Nuno Tavares. Nottingham Forest have better left-back options than Arsenal and all these other Premier League clubs I haven't highlighted. And that's the statement. And look, the only concerns I'd have with Alex Moreno, obviously, I've already said he's not incredible on the ball, especially considering he's playing in a ball-dominant side. This isn't like it's a Real Betis side that are like in the bottom 5 possession teams. It's not his fault, That's the only concern I'd have with his stats. Obviously, he's 29, so he kind of has to hit the ground running. But I don't think that's a bad thing. When you look at Nottingham Forest's signings, a lot of them have been younger guys, 24, 21, 26, 22, 24, obviously backup goalkeeper, whatever. But I don't think it's a bad thing adding a guy who's played in the top 5 league and can be a bit of a calm head in the squad. The only concern I'd have with the deal generally, we don't know what the price is. David Ornstein hasn't put that yet. I'd assume it'd be about 10 to 15 million. The only concern I'd have with this is Nottingham Forest still haven't signed a central midfielder yet, and that worries me. I assume that will happen at some point. But, it's a lot of goalkeepers and defenders. Again, I don't think that's a bad thing. I think it's better to get in your defenders early. You can kind of, coach them in pre-season. I think you can throw a you can throw a winger or a striker or a midfielder in later, but Nottingham Forest need that central midfielder. You can't go into a Premier League season with Jack Hallback as you're only and that Cafu guys, you're only real senior midfielders. But on Alex Moreno, if Nottingham Forest can get this done over the line, it's a statement. All of a sudden, Nottingham Forest has some of the best wing-back depth in the Premier League. And, if Steve Cooper can coach them right, which you kind of back him to do, this is just another brilliant signing by Nottingham Forest who, if you said to me 2 months ago, I probably would have said would he get relegated. Now all of a sudden I'd put decent money on them staying up pretty comfortably if they can get a central midfielder in, which I assume they will. So yeah, if you enjoyed the video, subscribe to the channel, like the video, and yeah, peace.